students, welcome back. Today I am Anuradha from DPS Sandwani Lamachar, going to start the revision of the chapter 7, that is structural organization in animals, right? So we know that these animals are what? Multicellular organism, and we human beings also comes under it, right? So here we will understand that how the body is made up of any animals. Okay, what is that organization? So if I will talk about the hierarchy, okay, how it is made up of, so it start from where? From the cell. Okay, we know this hierarchy. Then when there is a group of cells, what they are forming? They are forming the tissue. Okay, when there is a group of tissue, it will form organ, and when there is a group of organ, it forms the organ system. Okay, when there will be so many system of organs in our body, what happens? It forms an organism. Okay, and we are one of the organism. Animals are also organisms, plants are also organisms. Okay, so here we are talking about the animals only. We are not talking about the plants. Okay, they are the living one, but here we will understand that how their body is made up of. Okay, so it started from where? From the cell. That much is clear. Another important thing, the whole chapter we will focus on the tissue. Okay, what is tissue? As I have said, it is a group of cells. Or what type of group of cells? Group of similar cells. Okay, group of similar cells and having the same origin with the intercellular spaces among the cells which will perform some activity or the function of the body, right? So what is tissue? These are formed from the cells having the same origin. Okay, now the study of tissue, when we are studying about the tissue, what is that study? It is a histology. Okay, histo relates to the what, this tissue, and logy to study. So this one is also important. Histology is what? Study of the tissue, right? Now we will understand that these tissue which will form the organs in our body. Okay, so what they can be of different types. They can be epithelial, they can be connective, they can be muscular, and the neural. So if I will talk about the epithelial tissue, these types of tissue are present where? At the free surfaces. Okay, these are present at the free surfaces, or outer the skin, or outer the body, or inner the body. Wherever there is a free surface, it means that epithelial tissue is present, right? So the function of epithelial tissue can be of different types. The first one, what we can say, it is providing protection. Okay, it can provide the protection as well as absorption and secretion of the things can be done by the epithelial tissue. Then comes to the connective tissue. Connective tissue is responsible for connecting something. Okay, so we will understand different examples here also. Then muscular, for the contraction and relaxation of the muscles. And what about the neural? For the transfer of neural impulse, it can be used as in here as a neural tissue. Okay, so today we will study all about the epithelial tissue. So before going to that, we must know about the germinal layer. Okay, if you will recall the diversity, or the we have done animal kingdom. Okay, in which we have started the life originate from where? From the lower to the higher one. The lower ones were the porifera. Then from the platyhelminthes, what we have found, that there may be some organs formation. Okay, and due to that, what the body structure will get changed. Now they will become the triploblastic. What are the triploblastic animals? Those are having the three layers, that is ectoderm, okay, which will form the outer part, mesoderm, middle part, or the organs are bathed here. Then endoderm is the inner one. Okay, derm relates to what? The layers or the skin, or the ecto means that outer one, meso middle one, and endo inner one. Okay, so these tissues are originated from the different layers. Okay, so if I will talk about this epithelial tissue is developed from all the layers. Okay, these are developed from all the layers: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. If I will talk about the connective and muscular, it is formed from the mesoderm. Okay, and about the neural tissue, this form again with the help of the ectoderm, right? So these are the different origin of the different types of tissue here. Okay, one more important point about the epithelial tissue is that the intercellular, as I have said here, having the same origin and having some intercellular spaces also. So if I will talk about this epithelial tissue, so the intercellular space is very less as compared to others. They are highly compacted form, right? So these are some general characteristics of the epithelial tissue. Now these epithelial tissue can be classified into two types. What are they? Simple epithelial and the compound epithelium. Okay, the name itself indicates simple means as simple as that, and compound means some layer will be there. So to understand it, there is a basement membrane. Okay, whether it is a simple epithelium or the compound epithelium, you can see the basement membrane is common in both, right? Now comes to that, how these tissue are arranged here. In case of simple epithelial tissue, and we know that tissue is a group of cell. So for example, these are the cells. Okay, so when there is a single layer of cell is present on the basement membrane, that type of tissue is known as simple epithelial tissue. Okay, again on the basement membrane, if there will be more than one layer, or the 2, 3, 4, more than one layer of cells will be present, what you will call it? The compound epithelial tissue. Okay, so this is the difference. Now this basement membrane, we will not say that it is a part, it is a type of cell. Why? Because it doesn't possess any nucleus. Okay, if I will talk about the cell, so all they contain the nucleus, but in this basement membrane you cannot see any nucleus. So this is what these are the non-nucleated as well as non-vascular also. Below to this, what you can see, these loose connective tissue are present. Okay, so one by one what we are going to study? We will study the lower part. First we are talking about the epithelial tissue, then lower to that these connective tissues are present. Okay, so how these are arranged in case of simple as well as compound. Now the layer is single and it can be many layers. Okay, now on this, again on the basis of their functions, we have categorized into different types of simple epithelium. Simple epithelial, the first part, it can be the simple squamous epithelial tissue. Squamous means that again basement membrane is there. Above to this basement membrane, what you can see, that very flat, very thin layer of cell is present and having the nucleus, right? So this is the specific characteristics of this squamous epithelial, is that they are having the tile-like structure or having very thin structure. And what is the function of this thin structure? Wherever the layer will be thin, what will happen? The diffusion takes place very easily. Okay, whatever the diffusion of gases should be there in a body, it takes place with the help of what? With the help of this simple squamous epithelial tissue. Okay, it is surrounded by, or it is layered by which of one squamous epithelial tissue. Okay, so diffusion is the main role. Now where you can see it, if I will draw the alveoli. Okay, so what is the function of this alveoli? Whatever the oxygen is coming from outside, we are inhaling what? Oxygen. So this oxygen should reach where? In our blood, so that the CO2 which is present in our blood, it should be exchanged with this O2, and O2 will attach with the blood and CO2 will move outside. Okay, so this is the whole process during the respiration. So here what happens, that blood capillaries are present. Okay, these blood capillaries contains what? That the deoxygenated blood, the blood should oxygenate here in the lungs. Okay, so here what will happen, whatever the CO2 is present inside this capillaries in blood, what will happen, it will exchange itself, and due to that what will happen, the blood will get oxygenated. Okay, the blood will get oxygenated and again get back into the heart in the another chamber. So how all these processes are taking place, because the layer of the inner lining of this alveoli as well as the inner lining of this capillaries are surrounded by what type of tissue, simple squamous epithelial tissue. Okay, because they have to done diffusion here. Okay, now there will be some more examples we will study later here. Then comes to the simple cuboidal epithelial tissue. Okay, so the name itself indicates that cuboidal in shape. Okay, these will be somehow cuboid in shape and having proper nucleus. So again there will be the basement membrane, and above to this basement membrane what you can see that these cube like cells are present. Okay, what you can see, the cube like cells are present and their nucleus at the center. So now what you can see, there is a very thin layer due to this diffusion takes place. So now this cuboidal epithelial tissue, okay, it can be of two types. Okay, on the basis of their functions, it can be of two types. How it can be there? If I am drawing this simple cuboidal epithelial tissue, basement membrane is same here also. So instead of that simple one, what you can see, these are the cuboid, these are having the brush border, okay, or the microvilli is present, okay, and these microvilli will just look like the brush border epithelium. So what you will call it, the brush border epithelial tissue of cuboidal type, right? And in the second function, what it can be, the cuboidal epithelial tissue, again they are cuboid in shape. Okay, they are cuboid in shape, same just like this one, they are cuboid in shape. But here what you can see, that cilia are present. Okay, wherever cilia present, you know that function of cilia is what, for the locomotion and movement of something. Okay, and whenever villi or the microvilli is present, what is the function of this microvilli? The to increase the surface area. And why to increase the surface area? For the absorption. Okay, so the function of this microvilli is what? Is the absorption, right? And as it is ciliated cuboidal epithelial tissue, so we can say that the locomotion and the movement can be done with the help of these types of tissue. Okay, and combinedly we can say that the absorption and the movement takes place with the help of the simple cuboidal epithelial tissue. Okay, now another thing is that where you can see this type of absorption and the movement. Okay, so where you can see here, in case of the excretion system, if I will draw the excretion system here, okay, if I draw the excretion system, what is it? It is the Bowman capsule. Okay, it is the Bowman capsule, and it is connected with what? Connected with the PCT. Then there is a loop of Henle. Okay, then DCT, then the collecting duct. Okay, this is all about it. So here there is a tuft of capillaries which is having the afferent as well as the efferent. So these tuft of capillaries, okay, as blood will come here, what happens, there will be some filtration. Okay, so here what type of things will take place? Somehow diffusion takes place here in the Bowman capsule. So it is function like the simple squamous epithelial tissue. So here you can see what type of tissue is present, squamous epithelial, because diffusion is required. Then as they will move further, what you can see, this PCT is there. Okay, so what is the function of PCT? The function of PCT is to absorb the nutrients. Okay, so more, we can say more and more absorption takes place where, in which part of this nephron? In the PCT part, right? So in this PCT, the layer is surrounded by what type of tissue? With the help of this brush border epithelial cuboidal tissue, right? And as just you will move towards the upper part. Here also in the DCT absorption takes place, but the absorption will be less as compared to PCT in the DCT. Okay, so in the simple cuboidal epithelial tissue is present in the DCT, but when more absorption is required, we will use what type of tissue? The brush border epithelial cuboidal tissue. Okay, so these are lined with this type of layer. Okay, now comes to the ciliated. Okay, these ciliated form is present where? If I will talk about the respiratory tract. Okay, if I will talk about the respiratory tract, what happens in the respiratory tract? If it is a bronchi, bronchiole. Okay, so these are the different chambers. So what is there? What is there? If something have to move here, if something have to move in this respiratory tract, what is required? They require the cilia for the proper locomotion, or sorry for the movement, because if any of the microbes comes with the air, it should be removed out. Okay, so this movement takes place with the help of what? With the help of this ciliated epithelial tissue of which type? Of the cuboidal type, right? So this is the thing which you have to understand. Then comes to the simple columnar epithelial tissue. It also is the same like this, but the only difference is that now structure will get changed. How the structure will get changed? They will form the pillar like structure. If it is a basement membrane, so what they will form? They will form the pillar like cells. Okay, and these pillar like cells having their nucleus at the bottom. Okay, so their nucleus is towards the basement membrane. Okay, and again this columnar epithelial tissue can be of two types, same just like a cuboidal epithelial, is that they contain the long one. Okay, the pillar like, and this pillar like having the brush border microvilli. It means that now there will be more and more absorption, because we have used the cuboidal epithelial tissue as well as the microvilli, which will increase the surface area more than the previous one, right? Here also what you can see, the cells will be just like the pillar like. Okay, the cells like a pillar like, and they contains what? The cilia, right? Function will be same, absorption as well as movement. So where you can see the absorption, if we have to go for the more absorption, where you can see it? You can see in case of the small intestine. We know that small intestine is what? Small intestine having the villi. Okay, so these are having what? Microvilli or the brush board. These lines are lined with what? With the help of the simple columnar epithelial tissue, which will increase the surface area for the proper absorption, right? Here, so this is the example of what? Example of simple columnar epithelial tissue with the modification of brush border epithelium, right? Again, it can be of ciliated type also. As I have said, ciliated is responsible for the movement. Okay, if in case of female reproductive system, what happens that egg should be moved in the fallopian tube and it should reach up to the ampulla region. So how it will move? Again, they are having the cilia in the fallopian tube. Okay, we know that the in case of the female system, okay, if it is a female reproductive system, what happens here? I have drawn only the half part. So this egg should go in this fallopian tube. So in this fallopian tube, how this egg is moving up to the ampulla region? Okay, so what is that thing? It is the columnar epithelial tissue with the modification of ciliated one, right? So here we have completed three types of epithelial tissue. Now comes to the pseudostratified. Pseudostratified, pseudo means false, stratified means that layers. Okay, here what happens that you can see that cells will be of single layer, but it appears like a layer. How? In this case, some of the cells are larger one and some are the smaller one. Some are the larger one, some are the smaller one. Due to that, what happens? The presence of nucleus or the situation of nucleus will also be different. So likewise, if you will see this type of tissues, you can see that these are appearing like a layer. Okay, but these are not the true layers because all they are connected with the basement membrane or the free surface, right? So these are the pseudo stratified epithelial tissue, right? Then comes to the glandular epithelial tissue. Glandular, the name itself indicates that they are responsible for the secretion. Okay, what is the role of this glandular tissue? To secrete something. Okay, and secretion is also the function of epithelial tissue. So we can say that these can be of two types, unicellular as well as the multicellular. What is the unicellular? Those having only one type of cell. Example is the goblet cells. Okay, goblet cells which is present in the alimentary canal, which is responsible for secreting the mucus. Okay, and it is type of unicellular. And whatever the organ which is present in our body and responsible for the secretion, like the salivary gland, pancreas, all these are what type of multicellular, and this is the only one that is unicellular goblet cells, right? So these are what glandular epithelium, which is having glands and performing the function of secretion, right? Yes, another important thing, on the basis of their secretion, whether they are secreting into the free surface, okay, it means that whether they are secreting into any duct, that in that case what you will say that it is the exocrine gland. Okay, whatever the secretion, and mostly the product will be the hormones. Okay, the role of this one is what? Hormones in case of endocrine gland. If I will talk about the exocrine gland, is that gland which will secrete the secretion in through the tube or the tubular one. But in case of endocrine gland, they are not going to secrete or they are not going to pour into any duct. Instead of that, it is directly secreting its secretion into the bloodstream. Okay, if there is a bloodstream, so directly what these glands will do, these glands will directly secrete something and send it to in this stream of blood. So these are type of endocrine gland, and most of them are the hormonal one, right? So here we have completed about the epithelial tissue, different types of epithelial tissue. That was simple one. And in case of compound epithelium, compound one is the same one having the different layers, and these are also divided into two parts, transitional epithelium and the stratified epithelium. Transitional is what? Something which is responsible for the stretching. Okay, stretching and the retention is done by what type of tissue? Transitional epithelium tissue, as it is made up of different layers. And where you can see this type of transitional, when stretching is required. For example, if I will talk about the urinary bladder. Okay, so what happens when urine fills inside it? So it will stretch itself. When the urine will pass on, so it will come into the original form. So what is required here? The expansion or the contraction is required. So it is done by what? By the transitional epithelium, right? So examples can be the ureter, urinary bladder, urethra. So all these are the example of this one. Then next one is the stratified epithelium. Stratified means that layers are present. Okay, layers are compound one. So here we have divided into two parts, keratinized and the non-keratinized. As simple as that, if I will talk about the squamous, stratified squamous epithelial. Okay, if I have drawn the stratified squamous epithelial tissue, what happens that if it is a basement membrane, so it is having different cells. Okay, like, sorry, if I'm drawing the cell like this, so it is the compound one having different layers, stratified one. Now above to it, what you can see, some keratin is present. Okay, if this keratin will be present, what you will call it? The keratinized. And when there will be no keratin is present above to it, it will be the non-keratinized. Now question arises that what is the function of this keratinized? It is that whenever there is a free surface, okay, when there is a free surface or where there is a more loss can be there, so there must be a keratinized. It will reduce the water loss. Okay, it will reduce the secretion from the body, as well as a non-keratinized. When there will be no keratinized, there will be no such protection. Okay, so the main thing about the whole compound epithelium is what? It is responsible for the protection, or it will act as a it will act against the mechanical stress, right? So when there will be keratinized form, what happens that then it will helpful for the organs. How it is helpful? Example, we know that our nails, our skin, okay, because skin always wear and tear, it needs to be heal up easily. So what is present there? Keratin is present, and non-keratinized is that structure where there is very sensitive areas. For example, if I will talk about the vagina, okay, so esophagus, so these part are very cannot bear that much mechanical stress. So, and why they cannot bear the mechanical stress? Because they are not having proper keratin. Okay, so these are what type? Non-keratinized form. Okay, so today we have revised whole about the epithelial tissue. So in the next class we will study, or we will revise the some more type of tissue. So that's all for today. Thank you.